So we go live now.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Okay, here we are. Okay, so hello everyone again. Sorry for the interruption and sorry for the technical problems that we had. So let me start from the beginning. So hello everyone. So today we have the second ScaleUp webinar, and let me remind the goal of it. So ScaleUp webinars are aimed to educate the Armenian tech ecosystem startups by providing practical knowledge from the local and global experts. So the content of the webinars is going to be focused on startup-related topics and critical questions. So follow up to learn more about the coming webinars. And today we have a pleasure to meet with Shant and to discuss like a really very interesting things about branding. So Shant, I want you to introduce yourself a little bit, and then we can start.
Sure. First of all, I'm so happy to join you guys. Thanks, Anna, for the opportunity. And sorry again for the technical issue. I think some people were commenting that they were not seeing the rest. So we already started with 4 slides, but we'll start from the beginning. Hi, my name is Shant Tengerian. I'm a creative director, head of creative and corporate communication in a semi-government entity in Dubai. I manage a team of creatives and copywriters and social media specialists. I have almost like 15 years experience in all these fields. We teamed up with Bana and we work closely with Anna to work on a presentation that we think it will help the startups, not only in Yerevan and Armenia, and any other place who's interested, any company or startup interested to build their branding with certain tools and some guidance. So I think we can start right away. So we make it short and sweet. We'll go through the presentation. We'll have certain tools and apps. We'll discuss it, and then we'll open the floor for like questions and answers, and see how it goes.
Yeah. So I want to ask all, if you have questions, you can post them in the comments so we can go to them in the very end. Okay.
Okay. I think we're good now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So thanks everybody for joining us today. We'll talk about the branding for startups and smarter branding without breaking the bank. So at the beginning, what is a business without a brand? This is a question I guess everybody will ask. After all the effort you put into an idea or an app or a business, this all will be nothing if you don't invest in branding strategies that will allow people to recognize, trust, and eventually buy your product and build that relationship with you. The good news that you don't need a huge budget to get started on branding. You just need to learn the basics of building a good foundation for your brand. Let's start with defining a brand. What is a brand? As Seth Godin says, it is a set of expectations, memories, stories, and relationships that taken all together account for a consumer's decision to choose one product or service over another. So think about whenever you buy a product, why you're buying it. I'm sure you have your own reasons, maybe because it relates to your values, your ideas, you think it's cool, it's funny, whatever it is, these criteria define a brand. Basically, they work on that so they can relate to the target audience, which is it's you at the end. Why branding is essential for startups? It's essential for any business at the end, but why for startups? First reason I would say it's the brand recognition. Good branding allows your business to be recognized. Working on the right logo or the website, for instance, will help you build an image that people will remember you about the company. Let's say whenever you see Nike or Coca-Cola or McDonald's logo or their materials, immediately you recognize them because let's say because of their colors, the font, or the materials they use. They spend millions on this to make sure that they're still relevant and recognized. Okay, these are big brands, but for startups could be a completely different story. But at the end, these are the basics that every company or any business will follow. The second reason are differentiating you from other competitors. Okay, let's face it, as a startup, you're faced with the challenge to differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack. What branding will do will pull you out of that clutter and create a distinct definition for your company. It allows you to tell your story, what makes you relevant, how you can make a difference. At the end, you're trying to convince this customer that you offer a better experience than the other competitor. The third reason are basically you need an emotional connection. So what is an emotional connection? You need to build that strong relation or emotional connection with your clients, as well as your employees. Basically, it's an internal and external effort. So good brandings allow you to create that valuable connection, which eventually will lead to loyalty that you can rely later on to keep the revenue going on for a long time. Because if you have that loyal customer, they will come back and purchase more and more and more. This emotional connection is a gradual process. It won't happen on day 1 or 2. This is something you have to work on daily basis, I would say. And the amazing results are that you're connecting your brand values through this connection to like-minded people or your fans. So what does it take to build a good brand? I would summarize it into 3 main sections, and we'll explain them later on. So basically, you need a branding strategy, you need a brand identity, and you need a marketing strategy. So how to create a cohesive branding strategy? First of all, you have to define the purpose. Why did you start this business? You are not just this for the profit. Okay, somehow you are there for the money, but it's not the main reason, right? You have to find that greater cause behind what you're doing, the why behind the brand. And you can use this way you can use the why behind the brand to tell your story, because people usually relate to that. The second will be the mission and the vision. So basically, the mission statement will define your brand goals, objectives, and approach. And the vision statement will describe the long-term impact you want to make with your mission. Once you have this, you have to define as well your values as a brand. So how do you want to be perceived? Consumers need to know who you are as a brand and what you stand for. And this is really crucial. Like Nike, Adidas, all these brands, they have certain values and they address it through all their campaigns to make sure people are perceiving it in the right way. Next will be the audience. For sure, you're developing a product or let's say a business, you need an audience for that, the target group. Who do you want to impress? Understanding your target audience and the market is quite crucial. This will help you position yourself better and know exactly how to keep your consumers satisfied by addressing their problems and needs with relevant solutions. The next will be the awareness. So you have everything there. How do you want to be discovered? So you have to do the study where you can find your target audience. Where are they? On which platforms? There are different opportunities for brand awareness, but you have to choose the right avenues to see the right impressions. Then you have to work as well on the persona and the voice. So what is your personality as a brand? Are you trying to be perceived as a fun brand or authority that you're providing, let's say, trust or value, so everybody should come to you? You need to give your brand that character and distinct voice that will make you more reliable and relatable to consumers. Something that you have to take into consideration, you have to humanize that brand so that people can feel that real connection with you. Last but not the least is a tagline. How do you want to be remembered? You can create a memorable tagline that will capture your story and your essence in just few words. This is something like really essential to have, but it's really good to have it. You might have it later. You can develop it once you launch your startup and then you find the right tagline. But in general, these are the points I would say you should cover it when you work on the branding strategy. There are other points as well. If we'll cover them, it might take ages. But again, we can discuss it, or you can send me an emails if you need help in certain things, and we can cover them. So once you have your strategies in place, it's time to work on your brand identity, because it's the only way to make yourself memorable and recognizable to your consumers. And as usual, I guess everybody knows, you will start with the logo. So which came first, the logo or the brand? This is difficult to say, because logos and brands are constantly being refined and adjusted. However, I believe a clear brand should come first, followed by a logo that matches and complements and enhances the brand. As the foundation of your brand identity, the logo should represent your business on all possible fronts. So you have to create a logo that will speak about you. It should communicate your identity and make last impression on consumers. The final thing to consider as well when you're designing the logo, that it will be placed everywhere. So you have to develop a logo that it's flexible enough to look great on a huge billboard, on a flyer, on a business card, and even as a small icon on social media pages. There are so many things to consider while developing a logo, but in general, these are the main things. And once you're done with the logo, you have to move to the colors and define what your color brands. So for example, I'm sure whenever you hear the word Coca-Cola, you will immediately visualize it like a white text and red shape. So this is it. People relate a lot of things to colors. So you have to choose those that project your persona the most. But just remember, basically colors affect emotions, and emotions affect decisions. And then decisions will help the consumer to buy your product or not, or to go to your app or not. There's color psychology. Definitely, you have to understand the meanings of the colors and see what it relates to your brand. For example, let's say blue is expressing trust, and red and yellow is expressing passion or energy. Depending on the shades of this and the tint, you can achieve the emotions you're trying to reflect through your brand. This is a small graph, I guess. I'm not sure if it's visible, but the meanings are here. You can as well check online for the meanings of the colors. It's a good read, and I would advise everybody to go through it. So once you work on your logo and the colors, the next thing you have to work is like to pick the font that will work perfectly with your logo and the colors. It should be unique. More people tend to remember and associate it with your brand easily. So choose the right font that will give that impression about your brand. A tip or advice: don't go with fancy fonts, because at the end people want to have some classic fonts that they can easily read. In the example here, you see like a couple of fonts which I wouldn't advise, but depend on your industry as well. Comic Sans is no go. A lot of people, they like it. I'm sure if you're into product, into let's say fun, kids, birthdays, and such things, you can use something funky. But again, don't overload the typography part. Keep it simple and neat, so people can read everything easily. Next, which is for me, it's really important, images and photography. The visual content is a key in your strategy. It forms a major part of your core messaging as a brand. The aesthetic idea for this should be strong, special, and unique. So people, when they see your visuals, they will immediately link it to your brand. And definitely where you will use this, you will use it on your website, you'll use it on social media, brochures, presentation. So imagery and photography study is something important. If you have the budget to go for a dedicated photography session for your brand, I would highly advise. But as a startup, you can just use stock images as long as you're not downloading it for free and using it, just respecting the copyrights. We will cover this, the photography part later in the next slides. And at the end, you need supporting elements. So you're done with the logo, colors, and the typography and the images. You need supporting elements like icons, patterns, and these are all crucial components when you're developing your brand identity. Here I will show an example, a case study, Kareem. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with Kareem. Kareem was co-founded in 2012 as a web-based application to book corporate cars, but it developed so fast. So within, I would say, 4 years, it was all over in 80 cities all over the world. And by March 2019, it was acquired by Uber. Why Kareem as an example? Because they started as a startup and they grew so fast, and they had a branding at the beginning, which you can see on the left side of the screen. And I think by 2016 or 17, they made a major rebrand because their mission and vision was changing. So they need to adapt to the market needs. They needed to refresh their brand. So the same applies on startups. You can start with something, and then if you feel after 2 or 3 years that the business is going well and you're adjusting certain things and you need to refresh the brand, go for it. Do some adjustment. You might do complete rebranding, or you can just do a brand refresh, change the colors or the fonts a bit to match the new trends or the new, let's say, digital platform requirements. Here is a video about Kareem's brand guide or brand book. Eventually, you will do something similar like this. You have to have a document that shows, lists the logo, the colors, the fonts, the illustration type, the photography type. And this is a guide that you will share it with your partners, with your any supplier that they will produce certain materials with you, with other agencies when you will outsource certain things. So instead of briefing them from A to Z every time, you have the brand guideline and you will share it with them. It will be helpful whenever you're doing an office design or product packaging or web design, social media post. Brand guideline is a must. You don't have to be as detailed as the one I was showing to you. If you're starting small, just do the basics, cover the logo, cover the colors, cover the font, get the copyrights for the fonts if you're using it, and then you can build the rest of the materials later on. The more you grow, the more you add on the brand guidelines. Don't overthink this. I keep telling everyone, because it's something visual, everybody will be involved. They want to have the best thing when they're doing, it's their baby, so it's their product and business. All these big companies, they started somewhere. They had a logo, they had a branding, and they evolved slowly or maybe fast. You can do the same. You start with somewhere, and then you see if you need to adjust or add or edit or enhance the design, you can do it on a later stage. The next will be how to create a marketing strategy. A good marketing strategy should cover all bases, from, let's say, from traditional to digital. But most importantly, it should be aligned with your goals and identity as a business. Some of the tools you can use. I mean, I summarize it into three digital, I would say, digital-based options. Sorry. Content marketing. So I guess everybody heard content is king. I can't stress enough how content market is important nowadays. It will help with your SEO, the search engine optimization, so people will find your website maybe easily. You should work on producing high quality and engaging content, because this impacts the audience decision more than any other technique. So if they read an article that, let's say, lists the benefits of having a specific product, but indirectly slowly they will be convinced. And the thing is, they will remember, okay, they saw it somewhere on a blog, and they will visit your website again and purchase that software or application. You can do as well through your personal account. Let's say on LinkedIn, you're a co-founder, so why not to create your own content and share it and become, let's say, thought leadership in your field. People trust people more than they trust a company page or a product. Definitely they do the both, but I would say the personal branding with the content marketing should be clubbed, and you can utilize it to boost your marketing strategy. You can create videos, you can create infographics, images with some information. You need to build that tribe around your brand. Next will be email marketing. There are like amazing numbers about email marketing. I guess by 2023, 4.3 billion daily users for emails. And email marketing will continue to be worthwhile investment for the businesses, because you can use it to increase your customer engagement and boost your brand awareness. The thing is, with the email marketing, some people, they understand it in a boring way. Okay, here you go, we have a new offer, I'll send it to you. No, people will get bored. They are receiving so many emails on a daily basis. You need to provide some information, some values, some interesting facts that they would be interested. Oh, I got an email from Bana, let me read, what is it? Don't spam them. Tell the story of your brand, add some emotions to it. People love emotions. Don't start selling right away. Nurture your leads, provide some value, let them get to know you as a brand, and then start presenting your solutions in a thoughtful way, I would say. A bonus step, while you're creating your email list, make a segmentation. Don't send the same email to everyone. Everybody has certain needs, certain interests. If you are gathering this information or emails in a good way or a studied way, you can do the segmentation and send personalized emails. Personalized emails can result in 58% better customer satisfaction and 82% improved open rate. I'm sure you prefer to get an email that says, dear Shant, we found this, maybe you'll be interested to do this and that, rather than dear valued client. So you don't feel special. Make sure that the customers or your target audience are feeling special. The third part is social media marketing. I'm sure everybody agrees with me that it's one of the main tools to use. Even people who are not so sure about social media marketing, the pandemic showed, was a proof that these channels are, for now, it's the most important channels. I mean, still you can do the traditional marketing with events and networking and stuff, but with social media marketing, you will reach everyone. Basically, it will allow you to show more personal, professional side of your business that maybe it's not done if you have a billboard somewhere. It's an essential piece, definitely, for your marketing strategy. Social platforms help you connect with your customers, increase awareness about your brand, and definitely boost leads and sales. Thing is, post content that encourages interaction, not the one-way discussion. We are the best, we have this, we have that. It's not about you, it's about the customers. It's an amazing opportunity to engage with them, with your audience. Today, I just realized something. I was on LinkedIn, so I was congratulating a guy for his job. And then I saw a couple of comments below. Then I realized that they had almost similar profile picture when it comes to the colors and the lighting and stuff. It was such an amazing, a very simple tip of branding. All the employees in the company, they have similar LinkedIn image. It's like purple and red. So immediately you can link them to their brand. This is a small tip. You can easily use it, and make sure even your employees are active on social media, talking about the brand, talking about what you're offering, but in a soft way, which I call it soft selling. Don't go harsh and say, we have this product, buy it from me. No, add value, raise some awareness and interest with the people, and they will come back and read about you or purchase from you. How to brand your business. So while working on this slide, I received a question from Anna that time. So somebody was asking how we can start the branding exercise. I'll summarize it into 3 simple steps. Either you will go with the branding agency, and it is an expensive option, but you will benefit from their expertise if they work with similar startups or the same industry. The thing is, it all depends on your budget, about your strategy. The alternative solution will be to hire freelancers. Okay, it will require a lot of coordination between you and them, and maybe some of the knowledge in design. And you have to overlook the quality of the work as well. The good thing, this is something I will encourage, because, and the best if you hire from your local community. Let's say in Armenia and Yerevan, there is amazing pool of talents as freelancers. So why not to help them get jobs? Plus, it's the same time zone. Easily, you will communicate with them, regardless which country you live in. Make sure the local community comes first, and then definitely you can go international. You can book any talent through a lot of freelancing website. The third option will be online tools in case you want to do certain things by yourself to cut the cost. Maybe it's an option when you're starting as a startup. Again, maybe you can mix between these 3 options as well. It all depends how much money you have and how much you want to invest at the beginning, or even in the middle or later, and when it's more mature. And the next slides will go quickly through the selection of tools and apps, which I would recommend for any startup who's doing a branding exercise. Anna, are we good with the time?
Sure. Yeah,
okay.
We have an.
Okay, perfect. So we were talking about how important is the logo. In case you want to outsource it online, there is a website called tailorbrands.com and brandmark.io. Both these platforms will help you to create a logo. You can put your brand name or the company name, choose the colors, choose the shapes, or let's say the font, and eventually you will have a logo. I think you have customization tools that you will have at the end a nice logo. I'm not sure if it will be as unique as if you're designing it from scratch, but again, it's an option you can use to have your company logo. As I mentioned before, it's really important to work on the photography and imagery for your brand. Having a corporate photo shoot, it costs a lot. It is a good option if you have the means. Alternatively, you can purchase pictures, but luckily enough, there are certain websites like freepic.com and unsplashbot.com, and there are so many other websites as well, which they provide free images or photos that you can use for your project, for your presentation, or social media. Just make sure that you're paying attention for the license and you're mentioning the author. It depends. Every picture or image will come with the side note. Then you can give credits to the photographers. In case you will go premium, you can pay a minimal fee, maybe $5 or $10 per month, and you have access for more photos. But it's a really, really nice alternative if you cannot have a proper photo shoot. And next are icons. So icons, absolutely, it's an essential for anything. It's a major part as well from your brand identity. You will use it in social media posts, websites, presentations. So instead of designing them from scratch, if you don't have the right background to do it, you can easily download them from Flat Icon. And I guess the Noun Project, these are like 2 websites I would recommend to download icons. You can download them in different formats, even in a straighter format, which it's an open source, so you can change the colors to match your branding, change the thickness or the shapes to match in general your brand identity. Again, pay attention for the copyrights, just don't just download them for free and use them. And it's somebody who worked on it hard, so I appreciate the effort. So here is the next one, the nonproject.com for icons. Okay, so this is really, really nice and good website. I guess almost everybody's familiar with it. It's called Canva.com. So you have to design, you want to design a social media post or a flyer or a brochure or a card, but you don't have the expertise to use Photoshop or InDesign or any other designing apps. Thank God, it's not that a big deal. We can use Canva to design all your materials. It's simply, you can drag and drop. The good thing about it, it's some features are free, but if you go with the pro version, so you can upload your colors, your logo, and the fonts, so you can keep consistency with all your materials. You don't have to every time fix the font, fix the colors. It's a palette which is saved there under your account, so you can easily follow it with all the new materials you will design. A similar option as well is Placeit.net. It's part of Envato. Envato is a huge marketplace where you can buy and download audio files, video files, even website templates. One of the sub website, I would say, it's called Placeit.net. As you can see, you can almost control everything in the artwork: colors, font, the placing, at the end to match your desired outcome or something that relates to your brand. So it's not like something you copy, pasted, and then posted, and it will be off brand. So you have nice photos, you have some videos, let's say, and you want to edit them. I'm so proud to mention this. It's called Pixar.com. It's an Armenian product. It's I think it's doing amazing job. It's the headquarters. I think it's based between Yerevan and San Francisco. They have amazing features to edit photos and videos through the website. I'm not sure if there's an app, but the good thing is that they always launch new features, I guess on weekly or monthly basis. And I think it was on the App Store as well. So it's one of the nicest startups in Armenia that had the global and the international presence. As I mentioned, content. So if you don't know where to start from with the content, I would say go to buzzsumo.com, sign up. It's a cloud-based platform that helps you discover best engaged content and outreach opportunities across social and search. So you can discover new keywords, trending stories. You can even connect with influencers or PR agencies to distribute, let's say, your press releases or your content. It's a good place to start from if you don't know how to do the content. But this is completely different approach. Exploding topics, super easy. You just go to the website, you put your email address, and on a weekly basis, they will send you the trending topics all over the world. So this will help you to do what? It's a good to spot the trends ahead of time and plan your content and keywords accordingly. So if you see somebody's talking about, let's say, a certain topic, then you can develop blog posts about it, because everybody's searching about that keyword. So it will bring your topic and your website in a higher rank to appear in the search, and then it's an indirect traffic to your website. It's something good to explore. It's free. They send it on a weekly basis. I always check. Sometimes they have like funny trending topics, and sometimes they are really valuable. It depends on your interest, I would say, or your business. Forms. I guess I know somebody was asking us how to create a survey or how to send something
exactly.
interactive.
We have that question.
Yeah, how to send it. So I'm sure everybody needs to send a survey to the customers or even to get the feedback from them, but you don't want to send a boring Word file or a PDF file. Typeform.com, it's one of the websites I'm using it almost now since 5 or 6 years. Super interactive. They recently, the last year or two, they made a major rebrand. So the features are super cool. All you need to do is like drag and drop, and you have super friendly and interactive forms. And at the end, you will collect all the data and have it in a nice report with graphs. Another alternative is, I guess you spelled woofu.com. It's part of SurveyMonkey. It's similar to typeform.com. Maybe some features are different here and there. There's a free version of it. I think it's limited to 500 or 1,000 contacts. Again, check both of them, see which one suits your needs, and then you can choose based on that. This is more like sales and marketing tool, mailshake.com. So you have cold prospects. You think they are your target audience, but you're not sure how to approach them. So this is a nice tool that you can turn cold prospects into warm leads with automated outreach via email, social, and phone. You will contact thousands of prospects all at once with personalized emails for sure. Fully automated follow-up, so you don't have to follow up every single email you send, and then you will see who opened that email. If they click on a link, means okay, they're somehow interested with your product. Automatically, they will receive another email because okay, you felt there is an interest. So you build a completely customer journey or template. At the end, you will turn some of the cold prospects into leads without calling, without doing the actual work. It's somehow automated. Once you do the setup properly, I think you will benefit from the results. Email marketing, as I mentioned, it's a must for any startup. Even if you have a landing page for your product and you didn't launch your product yet, you need to have that small button saying, subscribe to our list and we'll keep you informed. We'll send the update and stuff. Start early to build your database of contacts. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. It gives a really nice way of communicating with your target audience. Mailchimp is one of my favorite tools. Again, it's super easy to use. I love the reports at the end because you know what happened. So which link they clicked, which page they visited, and then you adjust your whole strategy based on that. I would recommend as well you do A/B testing. So if you have two emails and you're not sure about which headline or which image will work best, so you can do two versions and send it to two different groups and see which one performed the best. There are so many features there. Again, go through it, read the FAQ. If it matches your expectation, then go for it. If MailChimp is not good enough, you can check sendinblue.com. I met the team. They're amazing, super friendly. The customer service is brilliant. If you have any issues, they will fix it, I guess, within 24 hours, even less. And this is something you will really value when you're facing certain technical difficulties and you want somebody to fix it ASAP. The additional feature with Sendinblue that it's not only email marketing, you can even send SMS through the platform. Now it comes to social media management. As I said, it's one of the main tools that you'll use for your marketing. Definitely you're not going to post manually because this will consume your whole day, if not the week, to plan the whole you have, let's say minimum, you will have 3 social media pages to be present on. So you have to automate as much as possible. Otherwise, you'll spend all the day on that. And a nice tool I would recommend is called buffer.com. It will help you organize your weekly posts in one place. You will upload all the files, you will upload the text, you will put them there, and bam, and automate the scheduled time and date. It will go online. At the end as well, you will get statistics, how many people viewed it, and all the insights from all the other pages, you will see it here. Instead of going to Facebook and see which posts perform well, you see them all in one platform. This will save so much time. Another option is onlypull.com. It's similar to Buffer. It has different pricing options and maybe different features. All these apps which I mentioned, they have free and premium options. That's why I mentioned it here. I know at the beginning you want to cut the cost. It's good to explore these tools and see which one will fit your requirements. I hope I covered almost everything. At the end, if you feel like you need any help with branding or with any certain apps or certain things, we didn't cover it, either we do the discussion now, or you can easily send me an email and at hello@shant.me, or simply connect with me on LinkedIn. Usually I post daily or every other day tips and articles about branding, social and digital marketing. So let me know. Anna, back to you.
Okay, so maybe we can stop sharing and go to the questions. First of all, I just wanted to thank you for the super presentation. It was great, and a couple of people actually are asking if the presentation can be available and they can like keep all these tools for them for later.
Definitely send me an email. Whoever is asking, you can send me an email to hello@shant.me and I will email you the presentation for sure.
Great, great. Okay, so let's go to the questions. We have a couple of more interesting questions. Okay, so let's go over first the questions that we received before. So let's start from the first one. So one of the person says how to brand a startup through influencers.
Okay, I made some notes so we can talk about it. So definitely you can use the influencers as a marketing tool. The thing is, you need to find the right influencer that will relate to your brand. You cannot just choose any influencer. You have to study their posts, their style, if it matches your brand. And now the trend is somehow to go with nano influencers, that they have less followers, I would say between 1,000 to 5,000 followers, because you feel that the engagement is real. They might make a difference and you will not pay that much, rather than going with the big ones. They will cost so much money. I think it depends on your business stage, but it's a good tool to use for sure for your marketing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So the next question, how do you test your branding before spending the money to make it a reality?
Okay, you will spend somehow. You cannot avoid that not to spend it, but do the study. Approach, let's say, a group of friends or a group of target audience or clients that you think they might give the feedback. Make a survey, send it to them, sense the vibe. Based on these insights and data, you can develop a branding. At the end, you can go with minimal requirements with the branding if you don't want to spend so much money and then say, okay, this was a lot. And then later you can adjust easily. If you see the feedback is not as much as you desired, you can easily adjust it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The next question is also interesting. So this person asks, what's your biggest branding failure? What happened and why?
Okay. Even big brands. I was reading an article, it's funny, yesterday, when Gap changed their logo, I think a couple of years ago, and in 1 week time, they changed it back to the old one. So we can call this as a branding failure because the people, they didn't like the new logo. They were like talking about it. So I'm sure they did their studies, but again, there's something missing. You have to listen to the audience, to the people. Another branding failure, maybe I witnessed it through my career. Let's say we go international campaign, you should study the market you're targeting. Let's say certain countries, they have certain cultural image or understanding. You have to be respectful for that. So when you choose an image, you have to choose it carefully that it fits that market, it fits that mindset, and that's it. And easily you can adjust it. We failed somewhere because we didn't know, but then easily you remove the materials and you can design something new and that matches that market.
Okay, let's go to the next. So again, interesting one. So is branding or positioning more important? Where do they overlap? How can one inform the other?
Okay, so let's first start with what does it mean as a marketing positioning. Is the the process of positioning means how your brand will perceived in the mind of the customers, how they will see it. It will help you differentiate from the competitors. Like I said, you need that you have to stand out. It helps the brand storytelling for sure. Delivers your brand message, and it's part of the marketing strategy. You cannot ignore that. The positioning is an essential part of the marketing strategy. But to have a good and proper positioning, you have to do proper study for your target audience, and then see what are the selling points of your product, and then do the positioning according to that. And if I can add, you can do different positioning. So it could be based on a customer service positioning that you say, okay, my customer service is the best. Could be price positioning, but this could be tricky because if you want to be the cheapest, then people might think, okay, it's the cheapest solution, but the quality, then you will question that. So there are different criteria for the positioning. Make sure you choose it wisely because it will really affect at the end later if it will sell or not.
Yeah, sure. Okay. The other question, the other two questions you already answered in your presentation. So, yeah, here we have something, some question. It says, what are the best books or blogs on branding for startups?
Okay, I wrote them down. I would say the Lean Startup is a nice. It's from Eric Ries. It's a good book to read. And recently I was reading Sell Like Crazy for Sabri Subi. Funnily enough, my friend posted it on LinkedIn. So I was asking her, okay, is it good? And she said, it's really nice. There are so many nice ideas there. Not that traditional, and you need that because it's a nice one. He's super active. You can follow him as well on LinkedIn and other social pages. He's selling a lot. He's selling like crazy, as the book says. If you want to follow certain blogs or websites, HubSpot.com is a good one. Startups.com/the library. It has a nice library that any startup might benefit from it. Again, something I do it on a daily basis. I connect with people on LinkedIn and I read their content because at the end, they're experimenting something and they're sharing the results immediately with you. You will not find this in any book. I mean, you might find it in a year or two, but why not to get the real data from real people and their experience? This is it. I mean, definitely read books, follow blogs, and follow professionals and their blogs.
Okay, thank you. The other question goes to, how should I start with personal branding? Okay,
personal branding is super, super important nowadays. As I mentioned when I was speaking about the content marketing, you can use your page, your own brand to promote your business. How to start with it? It depends on which platform. Let's say, I don't know, did they ask on which platform they will do the personal branding or not? Nevertheless, to start with, make a list. What are your qualities? What you can add to the people, to their, let's say, are you good in design? Then you have to specialize in posts or things about design. So what are the unique selling points about yourself? Define your audience definitely and plan according to that. You cannot just target everyone. You have to target certain niche that they need your services, they need your knowledge. Let's say if it's a designer build a website, then reach people that are interested in web and digital and SEO and such things. As a personal branding, follow other experts in the same field, because you need to connect with them, learn from them, from their content, and comment on their posts and build that relationship with them, because they will elevate you at the end. They might introduce to somebody else. So you do the networking either the traditional way in events, but because now it's somehow restricted, you do it online. Interact with their posts, speak with them, ask them questions, learn from the experts. Eventually, you will build that personal branding. You will tell your own story. Don't fake an identity or expertise. Be yourself, be confident, and do it step by step. You can't go big from first time. You might fail here and there, but why not? We will learn from these failures.
Exactly. Okay. So Shant, now I suggest to go to the comments. We have a couple of comments. Some people say, thank you, Shant, very much for the content. Some people ask for the presentation. So Shant already mentioned the email. Yeah. So,
yeah, we'll do that. Just one thing, Anna, I think somebody asked, I think in the chat or something, how to choose an agency or a freelancer or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this, definitely ask for their previous work. Ask if they work for similar projects or industries. Ask about the team members. Because if it's a company or branding agency, they might have designers. So ask for their personal work, who worked on what, not the whole project. So at least you know the quality, if they are contracted employees or they're freelancers, so you know somehow how much commitment they will put into the project. One thing you shouldn't ask for free samples. This is as a designer or anybody, it's not advice to ask somebody, okay, do me a free sample for a brochure or something. No, they're putting time and effort. This should be appreciated. No for free samples. And I will encourage all the designers to say no for such requests. And hopefully the clients will understand that and be appreciative for their work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the complete answer. And I guess now we can go to the questions that we have in the comments. So Noraid Markarian asks, sorry, what is the previous link before placeit.net? I guess when we give the presentation, so he can quickly check it.
Yeah, it's canva.com. But if he emails me, I'll send him all the details for sure.
Okay, great. So the other question, Samuel Alexanian asks how to recognize the right timing for rebranding of a startup or a company.
Okay, the rebranding so if there's a major change in the industry or there's a new need to target the new market or new audience or something changed with the essence of the company or the values or the mission, because, okay, you're growing, so you feel, okay, maybe I'll have to do this and that, then you can go for a rebranding exercise. The alternative solution will be if you feel like you're outdated or maybe the colors or the font are not matching anymore, you can do a minor facelift, I would say, rather than a major rebrand. This could help to at least refresh the brand. Because let's say your logo doesn't look good on the social media, it should be minimal or recognizable. You can do this minor tweaks to adjust the rebranding without, to adjust the branding without doing a complete rebrand.
Okay. Okay, the other question that we have is from Tigran Azadyan. So Tigran asks, can old brand work for a new one and how? Do you need clarification here, Shant?
Yes, maybe he needs rebranding. He means rebranding, but again, if you can text quickly and clarify a bit more.
So Tigran, please clarify your question so we can give a complete answer to it. So let's go to the other one. We have a question from Kimberly Logan. So Kimberly says, any suggestions for online tools to help with branding? So I think that, again, we can send the presentation to Kimberly.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah. Okay. So the other question we have, how to measure the value of my brand. I'm expecting to suggest some KPIs for brand value.
There are certain KPIs for sure for the brand value and the brand equity, and this is an exercise you have to do. I can share with them certain, let's say, books or certain templates you can do it, or certain criteria or KPIs. If you ask them, please, to email me, I can cover that part because it's quite technical. Yeah, but it could be as well as to value the media coverage, and there's so many things that you have to take into consideration when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the other thing we have also again from Armen Matrosyan. Armen asks for the presentation. We will send him the presentation. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Okay. Let's see.
Meanwhile, it would be great to, if they can type, where are they from? So let's see the audience, if they are from Armenia or from other places. Yeah. Would be interesting to read. Yeah.
Okay. So the next question. What are the key things to avoid when branding a newly starting business with no record?
Okay, this is an interesting question. Definitely respect the copyright because people will try not to pay for certain things. Don't do that. Avoid these things. Have a clear vision, what you want to do. If the budget is an issue, then make a list of the top priority items you want to have. But what things to avoid? Don't copy somebody else. Have your own brand that reflects your values, reflects your identity, how people want to see you. Don't copy from competitors. Definitely do a benchmarking and see what they are doing, but don't copy it. People are smart enough to see this is a copied version of somebody else.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So the next question. We have where to register brand copyrights for startups developed for the global market.
I guess depends on the country. Every country, they should have their own authority or an office to register that. I'm not aware about the other countries. I know in Dubai, you can do it through certain lawyers or through certain companies to register the copyright. And I guess they connect as well. If you want to go globally, I think you pay even more and do the legal work. But I'm not 100% fully aware of every country, how they do it. But usually, it's a country-based.
Okay. So let me check the other questions. Okay. We have a question here, but I'm not sure. I think we need some clarification here. He says personal branding isn't platform dependent, nor is any branding. Use a branding canvas or like okay. I guess this is not.
Yeah, let's check the first question. What was about the personal branding?
Yeah, personal branding isn't platform dependent, nor is any branding. Yeah, the question is about platform dependence. This
okay, let me explain it based on what I understood. It could be definitely regardless of which platform you have to develop your personal branding, because at the end you will have your own website. So this is part of your personal branding. And then this is something definitely I will encourage, because if you're using only LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or social media pages, these are not your own media. These are third parties. So let's say if they disappear, all your personal branding will disappear. So definitely you will have your own voice, your own podcast, I would say your own blog, your own website that you have 100% control on it. The rest, they will help you spread the word, the social media pages or any events. So this, if I understood the question in the right way.
Okay. So thank you. I guess let me check again if we okay, the person that asked about can old brand work for a new one and how, give some clarification here. So he says, I have some ideas partially working. Now I want to collect all the power to one and use old brands traffic and other resources.
Okay, again, I'll try to explain in the best possible way if I understood the question correctly. So he has some branding elements and he want to use it in a new brand.
I guess from the previous products or from previous brands. Because he says, I have some ideas partially working now and I want to collect all into one and use all brands traffic and other resources into this new one. I guess.
Definitely. If you know certain things are working, for sure, it means you have to keep using them. Add new elements on it and test if it's working. Make sure when you're shifting from, let's say, from one product or brand to another, the reputation or the positioning, if it's right or wrong, because it might not fit 100% the new product or the new service. As long, maybe the tools are using for the previous brand as let's say any marketing tool, if it's working, definitely use it again on the new product, as long as it's the same let's say target audience or the positioning is similar. Again, I didn't understand the question. If he can explain it further, rather than that, he can email me and we can have a discussion and clarify it even further.
Let's ask Tigran if the question is not answered. Tigran, you can write to Shant and Shant can give you the full answer to your question. So I guess we are over the time, so let's kind of summarize. And later, if all of you have a couple of questions or more questions to ask, you can write Shant. I guess Shant will be happy to answer your questions. To help your startup grow. Okay, so the ScaleUp webinars are organized by Bana. For those of you who don't know about Bana, Bana is the business angel network of Armenia. It's the first angel network here. And Bana members represent diverse and experienced network of leading investors from a wide range of industries and geography. So write us if you have an interesting startup with traction or you have MVP ready. And yeah, you are welcome to write me with any suggestions. If you need any advice or you have some interesting topic to suggest for our ScaleUp webinars, I will be happy to consider them in our coming webinars. Investors from a wide range of industries and okay, yeah, the next webinar that we're going to have will be on 28th of April. We are going to talk about top startup hiring mistakes and how to avoid them. So join us, it will be fun and you will learn a lot. Find the links in the comments, and I guess we can kind of sum up. Thank you very much, Shant, for your time. It was super, and I think everyone will benefit from this presentation and will work on their startup.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thanks again, Bana, for the opportunity. As I said, whenever anybody needs anything, feel free to email me, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm here to help. I'll be super excited to help any startup anywhere. It's a two-way thing. I will learn from them, they will learn from me. Thanks for the opportunity, and all the best with the next webinars.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us, and good evening for everyone.
Bye-bye.